Question. I don't know.
In this lonely ass world, it's getting colder. I'm not going nowhere if I cannot take my boat there. My mind was bred a little different, yeah, from my own past. If I see heat, why the fuck would I wanna go there? Mama, I make you smile. Mama, your little nigga came from wildin'. Mama, always got in trouble, I was shouted. Mama, now I'm staring at shit. Mama, I'm the pilot. Mama, if I want something, I'ma go get it. Mama, swim with the sharks, piranhas, and fishes. Mama, it's so hard down here, God is my witness. Mama, I know where I'm going. Mama, I'm a fan. It's hard not knowing who is really gonna be there for me. I wish you could be here to see me the day I start touring. Shit be on my mind every second when I'm not recording. I'm waking up conversating with the Lord every morning. I mistakenly took the wrong path, I had to rewind. I fumbled trying to move too fast, I had to keep trying. Growing up I got in trouble, told myself to keep lying. So much stress be building up, swear I be needing me time.
That's crazy. Riri went out soon as the show supposed to start. She dealing with bad connection, y'all. Let me give her a second to come in here. She's still in North Carolina. But if you already in here, you watching, please like, please share. You watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. This is Tall Tale Thursdays. When we talk crazy, we tell the craziest stories, or this can be times you can tell something you think might be a conspiracy, or it might can be true to you. You know, these days I don't know what's conspiracy and what's truth these days, because 1 minute is considered conspiracy, then months later somehow it became fact. It was conspiracy that it's going to be aliens coming out the ocean. Remember Ryan Garcia said that it's aliens in the ocean. They coming out the ocean. They gonna be flying around in drones, and everybody laughed him out. I thought the nigga was crazy. I said he got hit in the head too many times dealing with that boxing. And now months later, it's drones everywhere flying everywhere. And they talking about they coming out the water. Say this is weird. You know, when Ryan Garcia could predict the future, something ain't right. Let me call Riri. Give everybody time to get in. If you ain't here, put something in the comments so I can know you ain't here. So I can know who I'm talking to. Woo, where you at? Who in here with me? I got shit to link myself. I know my boy Trey coming. I know my. What's up, Kenny? I can see now who watching. What's up, LA? Y'all over there twatching. They watching, but they ain't saying nothing. They must be busy. What up, Lee? Send this out to Shaquan. We got some Tall Tale Thursday. Lee, I got your videos in the group. Some that's okay. They might be old to me, but they new to some people. But we can revisit that. I'ma share once you get in here. Can't talk too early. Grand Rising, brother. What's up, LA? Hopefully some of y'all caught the sports show last night. Probably didn't though. We gonna see. We gonna have a good one today. Kenny, my brother, appreciate you, man. Yesterday coming on the Christmas show. How was everybody Christmas? You got New Year's coming up. I know y'all got some things y'all want to change in life. Why we do that every goddamn year? Every year I hear niggas say, "Oh, women too. Oh, what I'm gonna do is, I got New Year's revolution. I'm gonna stop doing this and stop doing that shit." Then the next year they saying the same shit. I don't know, man. I'm just New Year's revolution. I be tired of hearing it, but I guess that's something we do every year. We program to do, but we don't really act on it. I know I didn't. It's so many things I said I was gonna do after New Year's that I forgot I said I was gonna even do the shit. Just probably something good to say, other than treating people nice. That's gonna be my thing always. But outside of that, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna buy this type of car. Let me put it on the board. I'm gonna get in this big house. I ain't come close to that shit. I think we gotta lure some things. Rising Kenny, or should I say Pastor Kenny? It ain't no more just Kenny. And my boy Dame Darling here with me. What up, Dame? Oh shit. Say what's up to Damon. I can't hear him. What happened? Something wrong? Who did it, man? What Connie at? Connie done muted my man Dame. We got to mute Dame today, y'all. I ain't even got to do it for y'all. Get some more people some time to get in here. It's going to be perfect. Kenny, what's your New Year's revolution? I want to know what y'all got planned. LA, what's your New Year's? Shaquan, it's a New Year's revolution. Oh, man. You got to tag her in that one. Shaquan, somebody done threw you in on the New Year's revolution. Done threw her on the list. I don't know, LA. You had your shot, man. I think she married, though. You know, I think she married. She might have had two husbands, though. There's women out here with 2, 3 husbands. So you want to be the second hubby, and he cool with it. That's your thing. Procrastinating ruins everything. New Year's goals. Procrastinating. I like that. No more procrastinating. You got any New Year's revolution you wanna talk about, Dame? Some things you may or may not stop doing after the New Year's. Things you might work on.
Well, I think one of the things that I need to work on is being a little bit more tolerant of idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, if I'm driving in traffic or something, someone cuts me off, and I'm screaming at a window that's rolled up, which makes no sense whatsoever. To take that little bit out of my life for that moment is just it's worthless. But I do agree with KJ. Procrastination. There's a lot of times I wake up in the morning, I'm like, man, I just can't do it today. And usually that's because I don't want to do it. But if I get up every day and I say, you know what, I got to get out there. I got to go do it, no matter what, whether it costs me an arm and a leg. I'll be in a wheelchair, but I can tell the world that I went out and did it. Don't give a fuck.
They talking about that's LA messing with you. You say all you need to do is quit, Dame. Say how about not interrupting? Be your New Year's revolution. Then Dame won't be
Oh
Dame.
no, hey, tell LA, I love you, man, but that's garbage. I ain't gonna stop interrupting motherfuckers. I mean, that's just in my blood. I can't change that shit. Sorry, drop the mic.
Drop the mic. So that's gonna be hard to do right there. So now,
Yeah, you have to accept me just the way I am, and I am one of those interrupters. You can ask my kindergarten teacher. She had me put with a dunce cap in the corner like almost every damn day. Interrupted.
Yeah.
Damien, shut up. Damien, shut up. I've heard that shit my whole life.
Damn it.
And the fucked
Man.
up thing is every time they tell me to shut up, I get louder and more obnoxious, because I got a bit of narcissism in me and I want that fucking attention.
Yeah, it's gonna make you talk more. You grown, nobody gonna tell the grown man shut up. Now you can ask me, hey, can you cut it down a little bit? Can you quiet? But you just tell me straight shut up. And hey, I ain't gonna shut up. It's a way to say things.
When I was a little kid, when my mom told me to shut up, I shut up. Because I knew if I didn't shut up, I'd get hit with like a shoe or an iron hammer or some shit. But as a grown man, you walk around and someone tells me to shut the fuck up. I just, I don't know. It's just in me, man. I'll bow up on you. Shut up about what?
LA. That was Reese again. I think she popped out. Reese, you probably gonna have to watch if you can hear me. If so,
is she still in the parachute?
North Carolina. Yep.
In the parachute.
She's still down NC. She'll be back tomorrow. So she got one more day down there. Until then, she ain't gonna be back on screen.
Let them sleigh bells ring.
Someone let them sleigh bells ring.
You know what I'm talking about, Althea. I love you, but you gotta let those sleigh bells ring. Someone's got to jingle them. You can't just be walking around silent.
Somebody got to do it.
Yeah, your neighbor's got to hear you thumping the wall like at a shitty hotel room where you know what other people are doing in the other room. Come on, Althea. This is your year.
Yeah. I got some of your videos too online. There was videos you wanted. One video you wanted to share today, Dan?
Well, I just wanted to, the Festival of Lights is Hanukkah, and a lot of people don't even know that it has nothing to do with Christmas. It's actually has to do with a war that happened way before Jesus was born.
You gotta tell us about that one.
Give me 1 second.
Go ahead, take your time. I got the clip. Make sure I send it to Weezy Wee. Okay, I sent it to Shaquan. Sometimes we forget to send a link to some of y'all. Charge it to my man, not my heart.
Well, as I was saying, it's about a war, and about how you're. I think we were having this conversation like in some way. What I thought was that conversation we had yesterday. It kind of touched me, and that was KJ and Ron going back and forth talking about who is the. It sounded to me like who was the more righteous person. KJ was catching some flack, and I really didn't. I didn't like the tone, with it being the holidays, that two brothers would go after each other like that. I mean, it really touched me. I mean, I couldn't understand it. I'm like, we need to lift each other up in these times. When it gets cold, it gets cold. What do you got to do? You got to pay more for the heater. When it gets cold, what do you got to do? You got to buy a big ass fucking jacket. When it gets cold, you want snow boots. So you're always trying to protect this vessel, which is your human body. But when you have a difference of opinion with somebody else, it should just be that, the difference of opinion, not try to just tell someone they're wrong or their beliefs are not right and all that. And, I didn't have nothing to say. I'm Jewish. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a Baptist minister. I'm not any of those things. I'm just a
Mhm.
guy that lives his life, and I do respect certain holiday traditions, and my favorite one is Halloween, and that's another commercialized thing. But when you can put a mask on and go door to door asking people for candy, man, that is gangster. I wish I could do that every day. Just put a mask on and go knock on everyone's door. Give me some.
Need some candy.
Hell yeah, get all kinds of candy. Now it depends on the neighborhood that you're in. You might not get candy. You might get. I loved it when I was a little kid. We'd be going around, and we'd always go to this one lady's house because she'd have rolls of quarters in her box, and the smart kids, they knew to reach all the way down and grab a handful of quarters instead of the candy. So you go get yourself something the next day.
They was smart kids. Yeah,
No,
it was a good show.
we weren't smart kids. We were poor kids. Some old lady giving away money instead of candy. Hell yeah.
You can't be smart and poor.
No, we were smart and poor. I mean, if you're poor,
smart kid,
you usually wound out. In my life, what I've realized is if you grow up poor, you usually wind up smarter than the rich kids because they have no idea what it's like to go without.
Yeah,
they have no clue when your mother comes home and she had barely enough to pay the rent and knows that it's your birthday and she can't buy you nothing and she got barely enough gas money to get back to the job, and then you have to look in her face and tell her it's okay. All I want you're my mom. I ain't worried about it. You'll get right.
That's a good look. Your kids told you the same?
Yeah, because it's happened.
It runs in.
Matter of fact, when it has happened with my kids when they were younger, especially coming out of prison, they didn't ask me for anything. So anything that I gave them throughout the year, they're like, "Dad, you don't have to do that. Save your money." And my kids are telling me that. Man, that fucking broke my heart. I'm like, "No, this is yours. I worked for it. Take it." And that kind of breaks a father's heart when a son or a daughter, tells you, take it back and keep the money, Dad, because we know how hard you work or all that other shit. But it'll make you stronger, though. That's for sure. And your kids become stronger too.
Hell yeah, they do.
And now my kids are all grown, so the only time they'll call to say hi or whatever, but the only time they call me is when they want advice for something or they want money. So those two things I can provide.
See, we need that. Pots. We need that money.
Well, I mean, you got to do it.
You got it.
Don't make any excuses. But some 20 years ago, I decided I will never take a check. I'll make my own, write my own. Turns out better that way too, because then I have the ability to employ others. I never liked that word employee. If you break it down,
employee.
No. Yeah, if you break it down, right? Applications. I need to see your ID. You're not going to get hired unless you get a background check. So I understand what it is to go out there and work and you get that check every Friday or every other Friday and you're happy to go home and pay those bills, put some food on the table, stuff like that. Feel like you're being responsible, whatever. But who are you really enriching? Are you enriching yourself or are you enriching the man? So I just gave up 20 years ago. I ain't enriching the man. I'm enriching those around me and myself. That's it.
That's good. We gotta live, Dane. We gotta live.
Yeah, and it does say in the good book, those that don't work shouldn't eat. I agree with that. But if you feel like you can't get a job, if you feel like well, they're not going to accept me because I got this in my background, or I got this in my background, or if you're constantly thinking about shit like that, you should take another course and say, okay, what can I do for myself, by myself, on my own, and what skill set do I have to contribute to the society at large? For example, making fudge, making tamales, selling T-shirts. Am I making a contribution to the greater good? I think so. But I also know that I get to dictate on my terms how much money I'm making. I don't have to rely on someone saying, oh man, the government just taxed me 30% of my check and you're taking out all this. And now I was supposed to be $25 an hour. Now it's down to minimum wage because all the shit comes out of the check. And I start to question shit like that. That's why I don't like the government at all. And I haven't paid taxes in 20 years and my credit score is 0. I haven't received any mail. I have no driver's license. But at the same time, I know that I exist in this society and I can still get shit done. Just like my homies that'd be sitting on the side of I-95 heading into downtown Chicago. They'd always be on that one exit. And, they're going out, washing windows, going like this and, selling water bottles or a day old Krispy Kreme donuts. I mean, that's just what I learned as a child. The education that I was very, very good at, it really didn't push through. What pushed through was being taught by some very important people that you need to shut the fuck up, quit your crying, and get out there and go get your chicken. Doesn't matter how you do it. I don't care if it's drug dealing or and this is going to sound terrible. I don't care if it's drug dealing, stealing cars, stuff like that. I mean, when people get in desperate situations, they got to do what they got to do, just to eat. So I should, and what usually happens in those situations is someone gets caught up in that trap. And then what do they wind up being? Because we are the most incarcerated society on the globe. The only country in the world that has private prisons.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do to that person? That person that went to go steal a car because he wanted to, go get some bread. That person that was on the corner, slinging rock or weed or whatever, and that person didn't abide by the rules of the government, but they were out there contributing to their own little society, which is, like Tupac said, putting money in the mailbox. And so what I take a look at is, all right, so when those things happen, so what did you just do? Basically, you made that person a slave. They're locked in a box. They get told when to eat. They get told when to shit in the shower. And it costs everyone money. If you're paying taxes, that is.
A lot of money, but they make money. They got private.
Oh, they make mad loot. Did you see that thing? I don't know if I sent that out to you, but there was this brother down in, I think it was Alabama, and he went. How
the hell that's playing?
Anyway, so he went from being a corrections officer to being the head of all corrections in Alabama. And then 10 years later, he got caught. Given federal contracts to private businesses for the phone use, commissary. There's all kinds of things that prisons send out to contractors. And if those contractors know that contract's big enough, there's some greedy pockets that want to say, okay, well, give me a taste of what you're getting, and then I'll give you the contract. And that's bullshit. You get paid to lock people up.
That's society. And they say take others' people, hard-earned money, great advice, sell illegal drugs, it's all good. All right. Crime is a business. Sickness is a business. Misha.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Misha's right. She's spot on right there, girl. She is so spot on.
Yeah, you think about it.
Spot on.
Money. Everything is about money. Y'all just get in here, please like, please share. You watching on YouTube, please subscribe. I was letting a few of them get in before we really get started. But we're going to go ahead and get started without them, Dame Dollar. It's just going to be probably us and whoever might pop there. Hey, this has been new for me. I never heard Jingle Bells, Jingle All the Way was basically banned in a few places. I love that song. I ain't know nothing wrong with that song. So somebody sent me this clip. I ain't even watch it yet. But it's a news clip. They were saying that it had some words in here that I don't know if they had to change or they going to change, but I don't know. They said basically they used to put bells on slaves like around their neck and whatnot. So when they run away, you'll hear the jingle bells, like the bells be jingling, and that's where they came from. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell. And when they hear them trying to run away, they would kill them, sit the dog on them, hang them, or whatever. It basically was just a way of them knowing when their slave was getting away. All slaves, white, black, it was a device that they used to put on their slaves, and now some prisoners today, if you try to get away. But that's what the song Jingle Bells supposedly came from. I heard, so yeah, I learned some more with
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
See what they say on the news.
A Boston University professor claims Jingle Bells is rooted in racism.
Wow. Professor Kina Hamill saying, quote, the racial history of the song has remained hidden behind its local and seasonal affection. Blackface and racist origins have been subtly and systematically removed from its history. Carol Swain is a former professor at Vanderbilt University and the author of Abduction, How Liberalism Steals Our Children's Hearts and Minds. I mean, what a better book title than Stealing Christmas from Our Families? What in the world is going on?
Well, in academia, we get rewarded for coming up with ideas, and the more extreme, the better. And we know that with Jingle Bells, it doesn't matter how it was originally performed. What matters is that it transcends time and race and place. It's a Christmas classic. We all love it. Why take it away?
Absolutely.
Why the reflexive desire in academia, but more inclusively on the left, to go back to the divisive origins or the things that divide us, as opposed to trying to point toward the things that bring us together?
I think it's part of this whole leftist agenda that I tied to cultural Marxism to destroy America as we know it. And for some reason, race has always been used, keep stirring the pot, instead of pushing for racial reconciliation, what we really need in this country. The political left, and sadly the universities, they seem to have gone, they help create this environment where we send our young people to college, they get politicized. They may be indifferent to race. They see everyone the same, but once they get on the campus, they didn't get involved with the ethnic studies programs, then you get hatred. And that shouldn't be.
Carol, what about this trend where we see these kiddie activists, they call them, growing trend of parents taking their kids to political events? I live around the Washington area, all kinds of anti-Trump rallies. People are allowed to, speak out against the president, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, but they bring their kids, they wear these hats that I can't even describe what kind of a hat it is. They're pink. I'll say that. And they have their kids hold up signs that say all kinds of, vulgarity and all kinds of things on the signs. And you might have a 5 or a 6-year-old holding the sign.
Well, some of the children are as young as 2. I don't think parents should.
And they hurry up and skip to another subject. The news is vicious. I love the news. Basically, teacher complaining about a song being racist. they basically confirmed that the song is racist and it came from a racist time, but they trying to figure out why people care anymore. At the end of the day, we know the song racist. We're gonna continue to sing the song even though it's racist, and people should just get the fuck over it and move on. And they got a black lady saying it for a reason. They won't allow a white woman to come on here and say those same exact words. So I don't know, Dame. You know, should we just let it go? Jingle Bells just a good song, or that just should be one Christmas songs out of a million that they should even change or get rid of? How you feel about it?
Well, I think that if we put it into contrast, all right. So what is Santa Claus? Santa Claus is this guy that's totally protected by the environment. He's got a big old bag of toys he's going to bring to all the children. And what does he have driving his sleigh? Reindeer. And what are they doing? Well, they are shackled, put in a row, told where to go, and then they've got their bells on them. If you go all the way back, why do you think they put bells on cows so that they can find them if they run off? That's a very specific analogy. So you got this big white dude with a big ass bag of toys. He's going to deliver all of that to kids around the world. And what does he got? 8 tiny reindeer with bells on their necks, so you can hear them coming. Clop, clop, clop on the roof. Right. So who's really doing the work? All he's doing is driving the sleigh.
Yeah, and he whipping them damn reindeer. And as when people, I just say him whipping them. What? On that, sir. On that. Hey, it's cool. I just want to know how people feel about it. I didn't know nothing about Jingle Bells. You know, it's like now it's everywhere. It's keep popping up. This is the original. They even wrote books and stories about it. Just look it up. It's written by this guy, James Pierpont, 1857. This is one of the things that they used to put on the slaves' necks and had the bells on the side of it. And that's why the song was created. It wasn't created for Christmas spirit of love. It was created because of this. And it is fact. They don't care about it. Ain't like they hiding it. I just be wondering like how these things continue to go on. Like when it right here say Mike Glass, this is what Jingle Bells mean. The Jingle Bell was for the owners to hear them trying to escape through the night. It was easier for a dog to hit them. The more I learned, the more I steer away from these pagan traditions. And that's the thing, like, we don't care. As you see, the news didn't care. I'm gonna play a little bit of this clip and see what they talking about. I just be wondering how this stuff, like, even the pledge allegiance to the flag, all this stuff is still around. I be wondering how. It's amazing to me. Even it's amazing to a lot of my white friends. Will be like, how this sleigh,
over the hills we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. Oh, what sport to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what joy it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, take a ride. Soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was leaning lame.
I can't play that too long. I know it's gonna be a song. I thought they was gonna break down the video or something. They gonna suspend the shit out of us. But dang, I don't know how this song still. I don't know if this news to you. I don't know if this news to anybody in here. But if y'all watching, man, look it up. Reese said, "Hey, family, I'm still in the area with bad connection. I miss you guys on Monday." Say Santa's fake, dude. Slaves was real. That's what he said.
Good point.
Said, what that got to do with Jingle Bells? It was a bell on slaves to be heard when they ran. Yeah, and that's what you're trying to talk about. We trying to see as like.
Well, but if you change the narrative and make it palatable, this is the thing that I think about that song. If you make it palatable for everyone, well, then the song itself takes on a different narrative. Oh, it sounds cute. It's good for kids. But what are we really teaching them? We're teaching them that Jingle bells, jingle bells, on a one-horse open sleigh. That is not true. What if you think about Christmas and Santa Claus and all that traditional shit, Santa Claus was whipping some people from the North Pole that had to fly him around, and that thing you just brought up is 100% true, and it's not any different than what they did to the Israelites. They put little tinkers on their ankles, when the Egyptians, forced all the slaves, the Israelites, to work. There was always something attached to them, just like the star in Nazi Germany. You got to put something on them. So if you've got that on you, well, you're marked, and if it's on you and there's no way to take it off, well, then you're stuck and you're a slave to the man. Period.
Yeah, white, black, don't matter. That's why I tell a lot of people.
Don't matter. I'm Mexican.
Man, when I say Chinese. I've been digging. Like, I've been learning a lot of shit these last couple of days that I never even knew if fucking existed. Like, it's a whole nother period of white slaves. I'm talking about black people got these peoples as slaves. It's sad. And it's just like, it seemed like we was doing the same thing. And if you look at the livestock and the farming and stuff, even in our area, we owned it almost 99.9% of it. Now we own only 1%. How the fuck can that happen? How is that even possible for that to happen? And if you read some of these stories, you'll understand how that happened. And that's what's crazy. I'm like, this stories make more sense on why we at where we at today. Because if I do something to a group of people and I let them free and they turn around and find a way to do that shit back to us, you can't be mad. And that's why I think we at today. If you read these old stories, y'all gotta see them. I'm gonna share them. I ain't gonna share them today because I'm still learning a lot. And I gotta know what's bullshit and what's not. They might got me on a couple of them, so I gotta keep digging. But I'm gonna share this old clip Lee shared with us, Dame. This from MLK. He was talking a lot about it too when he was misled and he didn't understand. That's another reason how the numbers went where they went. Because they was letting a lot of foreigners in. That's the same shit they doing today. And people don't understand why we constantly, you got people like Trump, whoever, they against people just coming across the border. Because when they come over, they take from us. And this was a method they used way back in the day when we was trying to get things, and Martin Luther King could turn your cheek, we gonna get it, and just marching. Man, did all that marching and ain't get shit. And at the end of the day, they was boating people over here, giving them land. And it's like one of the last things Martin Luther King told us, and I like when I hear it because you still see it today. It's the same techniques,
the
and we
slaves,
still letting them get away with it.
1863 through the Emancipation Proclamation, but gave the slaves no land or nothing in reality to get started on. At the same time, America was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that there was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base. And yet it refused to give its black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 244 years, any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to cultivate, and therefore it was freedom and famine at the same time. I believe we ought to do all we can and seek to lift ourselves by our own bootstraps. But it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
Man, you got to think about. I just watched on the news a couple of days ago about like Starbucks workers striking, Amazon workers striking. The Emancipation Proclamation, I agree with what he said, but I also think that there's an actor by the name of Morgan Freeman. He was getting interviewed by Mike Wallen.
Just don't talk about him. I seen
right. Well, the question was, why is there why don't you like Black History Month? And Morgan Freeman said, well, do you think my history has to be defined over one fucking month?
On a white history?
No. What are you? And Mike Wallace goes, well, I'm Jewish. He goes, well, there's no month for Jews, is there? So why give us one? It just doesn't make sense. Because Black history is American history. So it should be all year long. And I think he's right. I agree with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Black history is American history. That's not our history. So
exactly. It's our history, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's still our history as a collective.
Yeah. We had history before that. That's what people don't understand. They start our shit right there. We don't start at slavery. But a lot of people believe that shit based off what they told in school. You know, we started off as slaves. No, the fuck we didn't. You remember they said they brought us over here on boats? Then what the fuck was we doing when we was over there? How long was we living when we was over there? How far did time go back? Then you got people say, well, we didn't know how to read or write. If I drop your dumb ass off in China right now, you won't know how to read or write. Do that make you dumb? No, that just means they speak another language than you. They writing in different language, and then eventually we figured it out. They started to teach their slaves how to read, or we snuck ways to read. But it ain't that we was illiterate, because if we was illiterate, we would never know how to read or learn how to read. At the end of the day, we knew, we just was in a different language. That's anybody. If I take you to another place that they speak another language and write in a whole nother language, and you never seen that language before, how the hell would you be able to speak to anybody, communicate with anybody? Like, you see it every day when we on the phone with these people on, like, online and shit, these foreigners. I don't know half the shit they be saying, and they trying to speak English, and it be hard to really get the help that I want because they don't understand me neither. So it's just like, imagine going somewhere and you don't have no idea what these people saying, but they just keep whipping you with something. You trying to figure out how the fuck you keep whipping me, you know? Kunta Kinte, like, why your name is Kunta?
Yeah. No, my name is not Toby.
Mm-hmm. But
my name's Damien.
Based on the video I shared, though, what Martin Luther King was talking about, he was talking about basically they was giving people hundreds of acres of land to move in America, that higher their numbers up because our numbers were so high. And even after slavery, they didn't give us nothing. That's why I be telling a lot of people, well, when they freed us, we was never free. How we ever free? They just let you out on the streets, go ahead, and then they arresting people if you out at a certain time for curfew. They arrest you if you homeless. You know, it's like, then they throw you back in jail and you doing the same work, but now you're a prisoner. So it ain't considered slave. So now you got white slaves out there, black slaves out there, whoever in the prison right now, they consider slaves. They ain't get rid of slavery. They just moved it over. They put it into these jail facilities, and they ain't give a fuck who can be a slave these days. They like, if you do a crime, you can be a slave. You gonna work for cheap labor.
Don't you think it's ironic, Molly? Don't you think it's ironic that if you do the data, and I'm kind of a math guy, but if you do the data, why is it that we incarcerate more people per capita than anywhere in the world? And when you take that per capita, all right, 80% of that per capita is racial. I mean, they're black and Latino. There's actually, if you take a look at it, it's probably less than 9% of incarcerated citizens in this country are white. I mean, think about it. And then when you come back out of the joint, then you got to go get a job. You got to tell the employer you just got out of prison for some bullshit. And now they're going to say, oh, well, no, you can't get a job here. But, you know, you can go down to McDonald's. McDonald's is hiring, but you're only going to get paid $8 an hour. I mean, my job here, that you, if you didn't have that record on you, you would have been making $25 an hour. But now, get the fuck out of here. Go work your ass down at McDonald's. I'll see you in the drive-thru, motherfucker. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
That's how you get cheap labor from people. Kenny said, what if Santa Claus is real, like the prophet? and they have just given us the Americanized, distort version. Santa is real. You believe in him. A lot of these things, the devil, Jesus, God, if you believe in anything, it's gonna become reality to you. You know, that's why you can watch a movie, and if it's a scary movie, these kids believe that this fucking monster is real. He under the bed. He real life just got under the bed. You be like, what? The monster's in the closet. What monster? The monster I seen from the TV, he's now in the closet because that kid really believed. You believe so much, it become your reality. You know, that's why we tell people be careful what you subscribe to. You know, do your research. Don't just be quick to subscribe to something because you feel like it's good.
So Molly, I want to, KJ, he just put that thing up there. I want to say something. He said like the Santa, he could be a prophet or whatever. All right. Yeah. So why is it in the United States and not in any other country? We've got Easter Sunday, which is supposed to be about Jesus Christ, just like Christmas, right? Okay. So why is it that the symbol for Easter is a fucking rabbit that can lay eggs?
Yeah, there's a meaning behind that. It's all about sex, fertility. Rabbits have sex more than any other animal, you know, and they used to have the eggs and all this shit from you basically had the kid, and then you would sacrifice your kid to one of the gods or that. So they'd do this shit every year. They'd have sets around Easter or some shit. And then the next holiday, whatever one come after that, that's when they would sacrifice the baby after 9 months later to some god. That shit is weird. You know, it's just weird. It like they don't even lay eggs, but we out there, we hunting.
Hilarious. And what's the whole point about? And this is a question for you, Molly. Just give me your intuition on, or your input, both intuition and input. Why is it that you know, we're supposed to be celebrating you know, Christ in some fashion, and in April we have to give our kids Easter baskets, and we boil a bunch of eggs, and we sit around the table and we paint them all. And then the best thing about the holiday is having a bunch of kids have to run around your damn yard and find them. Go ahead. I want your opinion on that.
Oh, we did it. That's what we did every year.
I think it's training children. Because if you train children like what the Easter Bunny is, what Santa is, who the Boogie Monster is, if you start training them young, when they become adults, they already know the bullshit, but they're going to pass that down to their kids because it's a tradition. But a tradition is not necessarily something that is good for society. A tradition, it can also be something that is used to control the entire population.
Yeah, it's a tradition. Every year around this time, they gonna do these things. That's why on April 1st, everybody say April Fools, because that's New Year's for real. That's when the new life to everything starts, you know. So that used to be New Year's, but now it ain't. So they switched it to April Fools because you thinking it's April, the 4th month of the year, but the whole time they fooled you because it's really New Year's. And it's like, damn, that's what April Fools all about. So they tricked
us. Hey, Molly, why is it just one day a year they call something Black Friday, right? And so that's the only day. Think about this. That's the only day where you can run out to the store and get shit that you can afford. One, Black Friday. Yeah, and they encourage you, get your ass out there because we're going to put the prices right back up. You'll be fucked again, but you have to come in today. Man, talk about a fucking trick bag. That's a fucking trick bag right there.
Yeah, they've been doing that since the 60s, man. I had to look that up a long time ago. It was created by shoppers, though. So the people who run in there grabbing it, it was created by us. You know, so it's like basically when the accounts
I don't agree with you, Molly. I don't agree with you.
I didn't say nothing. I ain't even finished talking, but go ahead.
No, the reason why I don't agree with you is I don't think it was made by the shoppers. I think it was made by the owners, knowing that it's the end of the year, and if we just liquidate everything, you know, we'll get it off our books. I mean, that's me as a capitalist.
Yeah, that's what you think. See, I went to research it, so I don't gotta think. You know, I was thinking shit too, so I researched it, and when I researched it, that's what it said. It said the shoppers they was complaining why it's always high prices all year round, and they old product. So if you got a fucking 2018 TV, it shouldn't still be the same price in 2024. That's what they was arguing about, and it made a lot of sense. So what they started to do to get rid of all the old stuff, they see that their accounts hit the black. It ain't got nothing to do with black people.
Oh,
It
okay,
got to do
okay. I
with
know
black.
it's financial.
Yeah, when their account hit the black, that means it's bad. It ain't doing good. Business not doing good. So what they do is they put on this sale, which is really a fake sale, because that's how much the TVs really cost for them to make. Is half the price they selling it for, even less than that. So they put on this thing Black Friday, everything half off. So what they started
You're
to do
right.
is overcharge everything. So at the end of the year, they can bring it down to a regular price and then push it out here like we saving money. But it
You're
was
right.
us that
No,
came out here
you're
and
right.
asked for that. What up, Lee?
You're right, Wallace. You're right.
What y'all talking about here?
We was sharing your video with Martin Luther King, talking about how we got to scrap ourselves up, our boots, scraps, and how they was giving away land to people, foreigners. The same shit they doing today for real, but they was doing it back then, giving away thousands of acres of land. And when we came out to say, they were just locking us up. So I was
Yep.
asking Dame and people how they felt about that.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it's Black History Month coming up. You know, in February. Even though it's every day, because all of us are created equal. So said, just expand the pigmentation. But I was just looking at that, and I'm like, man, we need to do something. We're gonna have to do something. We got to come up with our own government. Our own government. I was listening to Doctor. What is his name? Doctor Amar. How do you pronounce his name? Amar, black guy. What is his
Umar,
name? Umar?
Dr. Umar,
Umar.
Umar
I was
Johnson.
listening. Yeah, I was listening to him talk about how Diddy had started the black caucus, not black caucus. There was some black government that he was trying to start with for black people, and then they just went at him. I mean, he won that money from the liquor company and went at him. I mean, we for some reason every time we build something, they strip us down. Black Panthers is gone was desecrated, but the Klan still live. I don't understand. Everything we put together is wrong, but and
Yeah,
destroyed.
I
And
think the
I'm not
Klans.
saying this as a racist thing. It's just a conversation, and I
Nah,
understand.
I think they were just smarter. The clans are smarter because at the end of the day, they can be a judge, a police officer. They can be your damn school teacher, and you won't know it because they put on hoodies. They ain't in the Black Panthers. They showed their face, fists up, yeah, da da da. So they know who in charge. So they
so
know
that
who to come after. But with these KKK members, you don't know who is who. They
that's
was smart to cover their face. It's no
That's not
different
smart.
than
That's not smart. That's
yeah. So in the
That's
public.
cowardice. That's cowardice.
You can
If
call it
you're gonna
whatever the
do,
fuck you want. You never seen nobody rob a bank without a fucking mask on. If they did, they
yes,
got
I
caught.
have.
And if they
Yes, I
did, they
have.
got caught. And was that smart? Or you saying they
Yes,
was not a coward? That was so brave to go in there and do that without a mask. No, they doing shit they shouldn't be doing. So at the end of the day, they don't want people to know that they part of this shit. So they gonna hide their face. And you can call it cowardice, but to me, that's smart. You don't want people to know that's you doing these things. And if we was smarter, we could have put on masks and hoodies and hid outfit. We ain't gotta always show ourselves, and that's how we get killed. And then we say, well, he had courage. Fuck having courage. I want to live. You think Martin Luther King ain't want to live? Malcolm X don't want to live? Y'all just think as long as they die and say they had courage. Fuck that. I don't want people to talk about me when I'm gone saying he had courage. No, fuck that. I want to live just like y'all want to live. I can be wrong though. Y'all can feel like that, but that's how I feel. I feel like they was hiding their faces for a reason. You don't know who they are.
LA, you stupid. Stupid. Facts, man. Facts. He was blind. He didn't even know he was black.
Who?
That's just like having on a hood, but he was black.
Who?
Clayton Bigsby. Clayton Bigsby.
Dave Chappelle played a black guy who was blind. Though he's right. That's where he got it from.
That's Clayton Bigsby.
Yeah, he blind.
He was blind. He thought he
They
was
ain't
white.
got nothing to do with the shit that I'm talking about. They ain't even got nothing way the same. It ain't got
I just
no.
think if you gotta cover up your face to hang somebody, that's cowardice.
To hang somebody,
look
I
me
said
in my
just
eye.
the
Let me
KK.
look. That's why they say you should
To
be able to
hang
look
somebody.
your
Who said
accuser
that?
in the eye. You should be able to look your accuser in the eye. Face your accuser. That's law.
Your accuser. That's not what I'm saying.
If
They
they
not.
wearing the
So you telling me the KKK out there facing their accusers?
No, I'm saying we face it. We go head first on
That's
what
what
we
I'm
believe
saying.
in.
They knew it was wrong, like robbing a bank. I don't know what I'm saying that they don't understand. That's what they was doing. KKK members not facing their accusers. They doing shit that they feel like is wrong, and they know people, even white people, wouldn't even like them if they knew they was in this shit. So they was hiding their hoodies because they knew they was hiding themselves. If you feel like that's cowardly, that's cool. But at the end of the day, why would they show themselves? Why would you show yourself if you out there doing some shit like that?
If you know you're doing something wrong, you're gonna cover your face. But if you know it's right, you're not.
Exactly.
That's why I call it cowardice. If you got to cover your face to do something wrong, that's cowardice. That's not smart.
How did I'm lost? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm not understanding.
It can't be not
how is
smart
that?
and cowardice. It can be cowardice, but how is not smart? How would it be smart for them to show their face? That's the part I'm trying to get. I get it's cowardice, but how is it not smart?
That's basically what I was saying. I wasn't putting smart to it because the things that they did was inhuman. That's not smart. It's just cowardice.
I just go
There's
off
no
belief.
smartness to it. There's no intelligence to that to undignify somebody and take someone's dignity away from them.
See, that's the thing. When you don't understand people, that's what people just say. It's not smart, it's not bad. That's what they believe in. No different than what y'all out here believing in. KKK members believe in Jesus Christ just like the same Christians that go to church. They worship the cross and all that stuff the same way. But in they book, the same book that black people go to church and read, it says that they're here up the top and we at the lower pole. We should honor them, our slave masters, as we will honor our Father in heaven. It's so many scriptures that lead
What
to us,
book is
to them
that?
telling us the Bible that black people is less people. They really believe this. So if you somebody that believe that you better than black people, that these people are sons of what's the name of them? Is a curse that they got out there. It's in the book. All of us cursed by Ham or some shit. That's why we got this dark skin. They believe in all that stuff.
Is that
Like
the
if you
Old
go,
Testament?
yeah, I'm just saying that's how long they've been around. They Christians, that's what they believe. So since they believe in that shit, they was out here doing that shit based off belief. It wasn't just hate, they really believe it. They really
don't know
believe
what
what
book
they was
talking
doing
about
was right.
Songs of Solomon.
I don't know what book that was in because I've never been taught that one. I've
No,
heard
y'all never
people
read
say
the
that had
whole
to be
book.
there had to be a rewrite. I haven't yet to see the. I've heard people say about it, and I still ask the same question: what book is it in? What Bible is
Songs
it
of
in?
Solomon. Songs of
Solomon?
Solomon. Songs
Old
of
Testament,
Solomon. It's in your Bible.
Old Testament, New Testament.
Yes. Old
I'm gonna have
Testament.
to check it out. I'm gonna have to check it out. I've never, nobody in my family ever read that to me. That I've never read.
Well,
that.
if I were to if I were back in the day when we had like segregated schools and stuff, if I was alive back in the day and I walked down the street and I had a yarmulke on, identifying myself as being Jewish, I'd be told to get off the sidewalk and beat up and all that shit. Because they hate fucking Jews more than they hate black people. Because we're supposed to be the Antichrist.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just tired y'all think I be making up shit. So I'm gonna pull it up and
Yeah,
let
go
you
ahead. We
read it.
ain't gotta make it up. But
Nah, cause
that's
if
just like
y'all Christians, y'all never read it. That just
I'm not
mean
Christian. Don't put
y'all
no.
don't read the whole Bible. I'm saying when you
I'm
was
not
younger,
Christian. I'm not Christian.
you was reading, you never read it. People be
I
talking
only
like they
read.
read the whole Bible, but they never read the whole Bible. They just read whatever verse the damn pastor tell them turn to, and then they
I
never
didn't do that.
understand it. They let the pastor break it down to them.
I didn't do
They
that.
let the pastor.
I
You
didn't do
can
that
read it.
either.
They got it in every version, the American version, like it don't matter, King James version.
I don't read the King James Bible.
Okay, but it's here. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear. This in the
And
Bible. This the same book.
what book? I'm saying, but what book is that?
The Bible.
Ephesians.
King James is in all the Bibles. Every Bible you think of is in it. That's the thing.
The
Instead of
curse
just
of
we
Ham. He
can't
said the
learn and
curse
teach
of
each other
Ham
because we
because
get
he
into
saw
debates about
Noah's
what's this.
nakedness. Okay, I recall that, but I never heard about no slaves. This and somebody. So that's a
That's what they
rewrite.
was reading to them in all the damn movies when they whooping content them. They reading from the Bible. Y'all ain't never pay that part no attention. Them was all scriptures they was reading in them movies. Any slave movie you look at, they reading from scripture. They even take them to church and they read these scriptures.
I
And that's why
didn't.
people believed it back then. And still some today.
Undoubtedly, I wasn't paying attention
What up,
because I
funny
never
man?
heard it. I'm
Funny
telling
man
you,
here.
I never heard it. I never even acknowledged it. What up, funny man? I never acknowledged it. I mean, I'm not a Christian. I've never been baptized. I just know that there's a higher being. You know,
Yeah, I agree. I just was shocked that KKK members was Christians. Like when I found out they Christians, they go to church just like everybody else. I'm like, how? And then I feel like, oh, they really believe in it. And the book actually backs a lot of the things that they saying and believe. And that's why it took so long to consider them as a hate group. They just now can consider as a hate group. It's in 2024. Like
no,
that's
it
crazy.
was deemed a hate group a long time ago. I ran into a situation like that right
No,
here
I'm
in
saying
Alabama.
in America, like America recognize them as a hate group now.
They've been recognized them as a hate group.
See, here we go. I ain't about to keep
It
proving
just
you
wasn't
wrong, D.
enforced. No, I'm just saying it wasn't enforced because it
That's what
was
I'm
too
saying. It's enforced and it's for the word like Juneteenth. We've been celebrating Juneteenth, but now everybody's celebrating because they made it a national holiday. That's what I'm saying. They
but
now is a hate group like any other one now. I thought they been one. They should have been one.
but I was
But
in
we knew they was
Kentucky.
hateful though.
I was in Kentucky, and their Freedom Day is August 8th. They didn't get their freedom until I think it was 72. It wasn't even 72. It had to be 92. Somewhere to 70 between 70s and 90s. They just got freedom. They just was the Emancipation Proclamation meant something to them. It might have been the 90s. Yeah, it might have been the 90s. I got there 99, 98, 99. They just got their freedom papers for real. So when you say hate group, you looking, they knew in Kentucky that it was a hate group long before 2024. And I was there in 1990, 89 and 90. Now prior to that in Kentucky, it was elusive, man. I mean,
It
it was
just
there.
amazes me. I don't know, cause even in the word niggas, that's new. Like, like people start calling each other niggas. Like that wasn't the thing at one point. Like we cool with it now. It was just like that with the word black. Like you couldn't call a black man black. Like that's a black. That was considered like calling him a nigga. He took that as disrespect. But now we allow everybody. You write it on your application. Hey, I'm black. I'm black. I'm like, damn. Our ancestors would find it as disrespect. You know, so
Right.
it's just weird how we get programmed into believing shit as time go on. We say it ain't true instead of researching it and actually saying why. I just be want to understand people because some people out here they really believe in these books that somebody else created, and that's controlling them. At the end of the day, if I can write a book and get people to read and they believe it, I ain't even got to go over there and train them to do nothing. The book did it for me. So even if people at the top, they want us to be divided. It seems like they want white people to be hateful and that towards us. And they want them to read these stories and think this and think that. But at the end of the day, we always was one. We always worked together, white, black, all type of colors at the bottom. But now they got us fighting against each other. That's what's weird.
That's
Even the
because
KKK members, they think they better when they not.
that's because it's strength in numbers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And but what's really crazy is more of us than it is of them, but we can't stick together. Can't do it. Won't do it. I don't know why, but we won't. We'd rather battle it out instead of understanding each other and see what we can do to make a fix. But we'd rather debate it out, have an argument, and then be mad at each other versus coming together and make and becoming one. We
Yeah,
can't do it.
because they like to teach each other. Go ahead, Dan.
I can say in my lifetime, there's it goes back to like my grandparents and stuff like that. As a little child, I remember the older folks, they'd use the word colored, and that became offensive. And then you had to change that to black.
No,
and
Negro.
then that
It was
became
it was
offensive. And then you had to go a step further and call them African American. I don't understand why we're just not Americans.
It went from
Why?
Negro. It went from
That's
color to
new too.
Negro. It went from color to Negro, and Negro to black. I'm colored. That's what's on my birth certificate, that I'm colored.
I'm colored.
Yeah, I'm colored. It took one white dude went to Africa and he came back to America, say Slim. They look just like them over there. He's like, what you mean? The motherfuckers in Africa, I swear, they look just alike. Oh, that's where they must have came from then. Like, the shit just be amazing me. It was like, then they came up with this story about us getting on slave boats and ride. I'm like, okay. Boats back then, to make that trip, which we still barely got boats that can make that trip today due to the tides in the water and stuff. It will rip your boat to shreds. But back then they had wooden boats and shit. They had boats that wasn't even big as the fucking table in your living room, damn near, most of them. And then the big ones they had was damn near made out of copper. Like it would break apart. It couldn't make that trip. So it's like they came up with this story about all these slaves in the boat, under the boat, they dying, laying on top of each other. It's like, come on, man. You wouldn't even put livestock on a boat and try to make that distance because it don't make sense. You already got black people right here. You know, it's like that don't make sense. You already got water in the house or a jug. It ain't no point of going all the way to Africa to get more. You can just go up the street and get some. It just never made sense. But when I read that story in that diary of that guy, it make more sense. I just think people should do more research and more reading on a lot of other stuff because the history that they giving us now is made up. It's bullshit. A lot of it. And then when you do it, it don't even make sense. It's like, how did a boat didn't exist that can make this trip for the slaves, but this trip happened? And people believe it. You know, we came over here on a boat and half of us died and da-da-da-da. Then they tell it, well, your people sold you to us. And then it go on from there. So now we like black people just hate black people. We from tribes. We like to be called by our tribes. But now we all over. We don't know who is who. You can't go back.
Alex Haley just went to sleep and woke up and dreamt that story of his ancestors.
Yeah,
he wrote,
did.
he did Root.
I'm like trying.
And you got to remember, we were the first ones to make boats or ships. We had ships.
We already had ships. We already traveled.
That's right. So it's not impossible that they took one of our ships. And what I was taught was that once they enslaved the blacks, the Africans, that we built the boats and they took the boats and then they put us on the daggone boats. That's what I was taught. I don't know about the rest of that stuff, but that's what I was taught.
Yeah, that's what. So you just think about it though, Lee. Can I come to your house, make you build some handcuffs, then handcuff you and take you out? Like they came to our land, made our people build some boats and shit.
Not
and
made.
Wait a minute.
They didn't make them. They had
making boats.
No,
I'm
what they
saying
did,
still
they
a
had a.
million to one, or is our whole country versus some dudes who rode over here probably on a boat. So
They
all of
came over
these
with.
few we gonna let them take our people. We just gonna sit back and just watch them just take our people on this ride. They wouldn't even made it that far. We got boats too, remember? So we can ride our boats and catch up with them like pirates do. Hop on, snatch our people, slaughter, kill them. Cause they show the pictures only be like 3 or 4 men controlling the whole boat of thousands of slaves. I don't know. I mean, people won't believe it. I just don't believe that
That's
bullshit no
not.
more.
I mean, I understand you're young and it sounds like it makes sense. It didn't make sense when I was younger. How could this happen? But then as I was growing and listening to some of the old folks from before me explained to me that we didn't have a violent bone. We were givers. They came in with goods. They wanted to trade. They said they wanted to build. They was gonna do all of this. It goes all the way to the queen and all the rest of that stuff. They set it up where we'll be partners in this, and we're gonna ship goods, and we're gonna do this, and then all of a sudden they just ripped it from underneath us. I'll send you what I have on that, and they turned the tides.
Yeah,
And
you
then
gotta think, Lee.
I mean,
If
it
we
was supposed
get
to.
to China and we did some backdoor shit with China and we brought their people here and enslaved them, we at war with that whole
That's
country.
after.
You think our country just would have left us behind? Why you think
I'm saying
Africans
that.
say they not us, they not from here? Because they
I'm
know their
saying that's
history.
after the fact. But you can't even mention China with this because China, they got paid for working on that
No,
railroad.
I'm just mentioning any other national group that would not let people just come take their people and slave them and just
It wasn't a
chill over there.
it wasn't a take. It was a bargaining plea. They came in. They wanted to trade.
What they trade?
What our ancestors thought they were doing was building with them, and they turned around and snatched the rug from underneath them. And then they had no other. What they assumed was that they had no other choice because they was going to kill us anyway.
Okay.
That's the true history. I mean, you don't
If y'all
see it.
think we was that dumb, then that's cool. For some reason, y'all think white people
We
was
did.
so much
We did
smart
not.
enough we can get tricked
If
into
you're
all
not
of this
speak,
stuff. We making trades for a reason. We can do business. I'm just
if
telling
you
you,
can't,
like that
if
just
you
take
can't
away from
read,
our people knowledge and how smart they was. We were just so dumb.
we
They
were.
tricked us. They told
Yeah,
us one thing and then led to another. We wasn't that easily fooled. We
it's in the
wasn't like that.
writing. It's in the language. If you don't speak the same language, and one person feels that they can be that scholar to try to interpret it, and they change the language. It's like reading the dossier, and it says one thing, but then at the fine print at the bottom says something else, and then you're trapped. Something's gonna happen.
Okay, so you think paper really mattered back then, like
Yeah,
these
back then,
contracts
yes,
today?
your word. Even Farrakhan even said keep, and Martin Luther King also said keep your word what you have written on paper.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically all we wanted but all our ancestors wanted was them to honor what they wrote on paper, and they did not. They snatched it from under us with the fine print, or just to kill us.
And they say, I think our king sold us to the white people.
Yeah, that's what.
Exactly, it was a
I heard them
trade.
stories too.
It was a trade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of us. We everywhere. I heard some of them stories. I heard a lot of the ones they just came out with the movie when they was trading out for fucking hairbrushes and all types of stuff like that.
It was garment,
I'm talking about the
gold.
main slave joint with the boat. We
Well,
can
you
talk
already
about
know.
other.
Do you remember who did they teach you that was one of the first African tribes?
One of them.
Who did they tell you?
She
It was
didn't teach us
Swahili.
none of that in school.
Oh, it was the Swahili tribe was one of the first
You learn that
African tribes.
outside.
One of the largest was the Swahili. That's what the most natural language for Africans was at one time, is Swahili, if I'm not mistaken. Other than that, I can't remember the other tribal languages that they had. There was a few more of them. If somebody else got an input on that, that would be great, because I don't. It's a lot that I don't remember that I had learned in school about this, because I did do some studying in Black history, African
Oh, I
American
got
history.
somebody that could tell you. Hold on, you know more than I do about it.
Yeah, that was through the ivory trade. That's the Swahili coast. That's
Okay.
Southeast Africa, Bantu, semi-Bantu tribes. So when you start dealing with tribes and nations, now you're dealing with Hassa, you're dealing with Wolof. I'm Timni from Sierra Leone. I'm Cape Verdean. It's an island off the western coast of Africa. So when you follow history, true history, through the year one, we can start the year 1000. We can go to AD, 29 AD, when the Messiah was supposedly on the earth. And you follow and you track time and you track tribes, the Falasha Jews that went to Morocco, the Iberian Peninsula. When did we get ousted from the Iberian Peninsula? The Alhambra Decree of 1482. Slavery starts in 1492. I'm Cape Verdean. My islands were used as slave ports before we were sent to Sao Tome and Principe, before we were shipped off to Brazil. 80% of the slave trade went to South America. So when people learn the tribes of the people, if you watch the movie Amistad, on the boat, they're showing Timni and Mindi, that's Sierra Leone, rice plantations. Those tribes exist in South Carolina to this day. The Yamasee Indians, the Gullah Geechee.
Yep. That's a part of my family heritage.
No doubt.
The Gullah
No
Geechee.
doubt. So you know part of your bloodline, your spirit, your history. They know topography. Benjamin Banneker, the city of Seven Hills. This is Rome, Maryland, not Washington, D.C. So when you learn topography, like Alabama, the Crescent Fertile, the richest land, like the Crescent Fertile that goes from Israel into Egypt, wax on, wax off. It's in between the four major rivers, not counting the Nile, the Tigris, Euphrates, Gishon, and Pishon. Those rivers that exist inside of your scripture, your Bible, your Injil, which I know the Injil and the Kitab, the Quran, like the back of my hand. So we can follow these tribes and these intellectual conversations, just how learned are the people. Are we familiar with Timbuktu? The River Niger that goes through West Africa? When West Africa was the Sahara, the desert, that gives us all of our hurricanes here in North America. So yeah, so the history would show you the trade routes. They would show you the people that were on the boats with Christopher Columbus. We know the Moors, right? The golden age of the Moors would be from 700. Yes, from the year 700 to 1482, when we got ousted out of the Iberian Peninsula. Ferdinand died and Queen Isabella. This is Portugal. This is Spain. This is the Reconquistadors.
All the way to France.
Right, from Rome, the Vikings.
That's where my great-grandfather. That's where my great-grandfather.
Yeah, I'm 49% European, so I'm Scythian on my European side. It's the first European nation to get independence. Which is right below the Caucasus Mountains. So we know the study on the Caucasus Mountains because we know the study on genealogy, the splicing of genes. So in some level of history, we have what's called the Patmos Islands, right outside of Greece, to where the Phoenicians used to be, which is where Israel is at now, the Gaza Strip. So this becomes the making or the creation of taking potential albinos and reproducing over and over again. And then if you enslave or oust them into the Caucasus Mountains for a period of time. Yes, sir.
Let me ask a question. So that's where Israel is. Where to Palestine? Because I remember when I was in 6th, 7th grade, I was at the map because we were stationed on Myrtle Beach Air Force Base. So when I would look at the globe and I look at the map, there was no Israel until later on. They changed those. It was Palestine and Pakistan and all of that. When did Israel actually get on the map?
1948. 1948. Yeah, 1948.
And when did Palestine get?
Well, Palestine has been there, but we can go back to previous names of Mizraim, right, before it becomes Egypt, right?
Right.
All right, so now we're following the tribes of the scriptures. We got Ishmael and Isaac, the two brothers.
Right.
Right. So Israel is on what tectonic plate?
Uh-huh.
It's on the African tectonic plate. So
Hmm.
Egypt, they created the Aqaba. The Aqaba is the Levant, that V-shaped looking vagina that separates Egypt from Israel.
So Israel is actually a part of Egypt.
Africa.
Africa.
Why do you? Yeah, it's
My
in
bad,
Africa.
my bad.
Which through wordplay, through terminology, writing, controlling penmanship, it becomes Asia. So we're Asiatic. What is the Middle East? The middle of what? Middle of where? That's Africa. It was Arabia Felix, if you study through history. So
I
the
didn't get
three
that far.
wise kings, we write in what, December 25th. So you have the three wise kings. Where did the three wise kings come from, and what did that represent? What did they bring? The frankincense, the myrrh. So where does this come from? The eighth wonder of the world.
You know,
Sana.
you know, I forgot about that. We learned about that in the 4th or 5th grade. I forgot about that.
So Yemen, which is at the bottom of Arabia, Sana, the capital, which is across the Red Sea.
Yep.
So how can you have a Sudanese Arab? Sudan is in East Africa.
Yep.
So across the Red Sea, like living in DC and you cross over the Potomac to Alexandria, Virginia, it's just a body of water that separates them. It wasn't cars back then. So we boated, canoes, schooners, ships. It was the waterways was the ways of transportation. So because the air was arid, those that lived in Arabia had what they considered unblemished skin. Balal al-Shadid, excessively dark. So this is what makes Prophet Muhammad and his tribe, the Banu Hashim, and Bilal, the first one that calls the Muezzin.
Yeah.
He's a Sudanese Arab. So what is an Arab? Is it like a grape? You have a green grape and a purple grape? So when they try to disconnect tribes and people, what is your DNA? Are you E1B1A DNA? The last tribe to flee from Egypt, which would be my blood tribe that landed in Cameroon to this day, which is the Bamaliki tribe. So you can trace and follow the Hebrews. Falasha, which he would say Jews. We have Ashkenazi.
I don't mean to cut you off. That's the first time we've ever had a conversation and someone mentioned the Hebrews.
We're Hebrews. We're blood
Molly, I
Hebrews.
got a video for you. I got a video for you that'll back up what Funny Man Green's saying. I think I sent it to you.
That's not Funny Man Green. That's not Funny Man Green.
This is Rashid King.
Okay.
This is Molly's partner. I'm Twio.
Gotcha.
My company is called Twio, which stands for The World Is Ours. So
Nice.
in the movie, Scarface is Twism, the world is mine. But we're Twio, the world is ours.
Amen.
We share.
Nice.
You want for your brother what you want for yourself.
Amen.
So in our
Shalom.
world, we know, shalom, shalom, Selma, Alabama, peace. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So
Thank you,
Hebrew.
sir.
Yeah, that's the extension. That's your scripture. The Bible starts with two brothers, Ishmael and Isaac. So you have the 12 tribes of Israel, then you have the 12 tents of Kedar. So who are the 12 princes? Where did those 12 princes go? That would be Africa. Shem, Ham, Japheth. Just follow the tribes. Who did Israel marry back into? Ishmael. Where's the purest water on the earth right now? Yam Yam water. That's the water that saved Ishmael when Hagar was set out in the desert. This is how you have the Holy Kaaba to today.
Preach, brother, preach.
So history connects.
Yep.
I lived in England. I lived in Europe. I
Black
lived in
History
Scotland.
coming up next month. We need this. We need this.
Yeah,
On every
so
scale, we need this. Thanks, Molly. That was real cool.
Signs and symbols are for the conscious. I hear y'all daily, just so y'all know. I've been listening to y'all daily for the last 2, 3, 4 months. I think that's about the time frame me and Molly been joined. And it's been interesting. Damon, the east side of Chicago, your children, Lock It In, Connie, Queen Connie. Yeah, so Queen Brenda, Funny Man. Yeah, I'm familiar with, I'm listening. That's very intellectual to hear. I want to, a lot of times, Molly. But I get it. It's great conversation.
I love intellectual conversation. We can agree to disagree, but if I don't know something, I'm gonna tell you I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's great. I listen. It's great. It's informative.
Yeah, sure.
That's
like
Funny
you said,
Man Green speaking.
They said where knowledge is power. So
That's right. That's right. Knowledge is power.
Wow, I didn't know. So you guys are still on the show? Oh wow! Wow! I've never done this before. My bag, y'all. I'm shy. My bag. Oh wow!
Everybody in the back room talking.
Oh my bag, King.
Yeah, you good. You good, man. I be telling him he need to get on the show, man. Start the show, teaching people. He thought he was talking us off the show.
Oh no!
That's why it was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I get all my downloads from LA. If I don't know something, man, I got she right here.
Yeah, but
most of the time we be talking.
But we
I
were
still
talking
got
about
a lot to learn though. I got
Yeah.
this video, Dame, you wanted me to share. I'm about to play it right now.
Tribe of Dan in Ethiopia, also known as Ethiopian Jews, have resided in Ethiopia for centuries. They have a unique religious and cultural identity, combining elements of Judaism with Ethiopian tradition. In the late 20th century, a significant number of Beta Israel members immigrated to Israel under the law of return. Ethiopian Jews are considered one of the oldest diaspora Jewish communities, with references to Jews in Ethiopia found in biblical scriptures. Genetic studies have suggested a genetic connection between the Beta Israel and other Jewish populations. The Beta Israel, the Jewish lost tribe of Dan in Ethiopia. Also,
Why you want to
Thanks,
share
Mom.
that? That was a good clip though. Let the people know why you want to share that one.
Because I got hazel eyes.
Yeah, she do too.
Yeah, and I remember this. I remember this thing when I was a kid. There was this old teacher, old white lady, and she worked at a school, and she wanted to describe to these young kids in like kindergarten and first grade and shit. She wanted to describe what racism was all about. So what she did is she said, okay, today, anyone with blue eyes is smarter than anyone with brown eyes. And just let them go. And what they found out was that the blue-eyed kids would say, okay, no, I'm better than you. And then she flipped the script maybe a week later. And she said, okay, now today, all the brown-eyed children are smarter than the blue-eyed children. And the same thing happened. So when you think about it, if you're told something, you got to know what you're believing, man, because I believe that we're all brothers and sisters on this planet. There's only one race. It's the human race. And we just come in different shapes and sizes and colors because God's got a fucking sense of humor. Look at this. Thanks, Lee. I appreciate your laughter. I love you.
Dane said, my New Year revolution is to find what's my blood type is. You said, so Marley, you the smart one. No, he said, so you the smart one, not Marley. LOL. He said, Damien does know when not to interrupt.
That's true.
Yeah, Dame may interrupt one time. And I put she Facebook on this so y'all can add them. Definitely if y'all watching, y'all like what he said, y'all can add them on there.
Oh yeah,
most definitely. Because him and I on the same we on the same wave there. That's what I was taught. That's what he said is what I was taught.
Well, when do we go to the point? And I'm asking everyone, when do we get to the point where it's no longer division, it's unity? I mean, when are we going to, as a globe, say that we are all a part of the human race? Why do we have to define ourselves by different parts of the country, different languages, different colors? Why can't we just identify each other as human?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll read that out to you. Because I can never fucking figure that shit out.
I'm with it, but I think it's because the genetic makeup and definitely just for communication. Like if somebody was to break in your house right now and he looked like me, damn, you can't tell the police, well, he was a human. Like, well, okay, was he black? Was he African American? Like so I think it's used for that as well, so we can identify one another. But at the end of the day, it's still genetic makeup.
I know for a fact, Molly, if you broke into my house, Connie be like, you need something to eat? You gotta have something going wrong. You need a couple of dollars? I mean, that's what my wife would say. But then again, she'd probably identify you, Molly, just by your voice. I'm like, that's fucking Molly. Get in here. Come on, sit down. Let's watch some fucking cartoons or something. That's what my wife would say.
Lock it in. Yeah,
lock it.
Hey, Molly, tell him I sent them a friend request.
Oh, that's funny, man. So he sent you a friend request.
No doubt. I'll receive it as soon as I look at it, King.
He said he got it. He gonna lock it in. Yeah, division gonna always be the thing, dang. I'm hearing that, that's why the 1% in control, they the ones who control things, like capitalism.
They control it, but we end up with the end. We got the end game. We can defeat that. Like what a man said, it comes in numbers. We are the numbers. If we want to, if when it come down to it, it will happen. And we're closer than we are far apart. We just don't recognize it until we need each other.
Well, I think at the top they all together. I just think at the bottom we divided. And at the top you see Obama, Bushes, all of them hanging. They can even got bloodlines, some of them. So it's like, yeah, we got.
Well, I think it was about a week ago, Molly, that Althea have fun there in North Carolina. But I think it was Althea, or it could have been you. I just can't fucking remember. But what I do know is I interviewed Uncle Rick, and this is a guy who does not get on the internet.
Yeah,
he's just a old 70-year-old white dude, and I like his knowledge because he's totally not lying. I mean, everything comes out of his mouth is the truth to him. But the one thing that he really got a good enjoyment of was when I was showing him this podcast, and he got welled up in I don't know. He just got welled up when it was either you or Althea that said we are better as one than we are divided.
That was me. That was me. That was me.
Who was that?
Lee.
Yep.
It was Reese or no?
That was Lee that said that.
Oh, it was you. Okay. All right. Y'all look alike. God damn it.
There we go with that bullshit again. That's what y'all be thinking. That's what y'all be
whatever,
thinking.
Dude.
Yeah. I keep telling you, I was taught that y'all mean that you're a piece of shit. I ain't no dude. Dude means that you're a piece of shit. Now I'm better than that.
Well, I heard a long time ago that dude was that like a sore on an elephant's asshole? It's a dude.
And you saw that shit? What were you doing?
No, somebody told me about it. I believed it. Just like the rest of everyone who believes that you got to go shopping on Black Friday. Son of a bitch.
Oh no, Black Friday, man. I love the new Black Friday, but the old Black Friday was a catastrophe. Back in the day, they used to have it where they had a meme up a few about 10 years ago where it showed Black Friday and they had 3 black guys tied by their feet like they do chickens. And they said $40, half price $40.
Hey, I like what LA just put up there, Lee, Miss Lee. What LA just put up there was really fucking cool. All right, and he's right. It was talking about comedians, and I agree with that because I mean that's all I do, and I don't give a shit what you damn look like. I don't care where you fucking came from. The only thing I care about is that when I put some chicken in your pocket and you get behind that microphone, that you are awesome and do great and make people laugh. I mean, that and LA, thank you for posting that. That was fucking on point. That's what Reese was talking about.
A group of people kidnapped and forced to travel to a faraway land, then held for years against their will.
They gain their freedom, and all they want to do is go home, but they can't. Well, this isn't Hollywood. It's a real story about real people who are part of the history of Mobile.
NBC 15's Darwin Singleton has the story.
This man has emerged as one of Mobile's and the South's most important historical figures that you may never have heard about. His name? Cudjo Lewis, the longest surviving member of 110 African slaves brought to Mobile on the Clotilda, widely recognized as the last slave ship to America. And now these two educators turned filmmakers are making his story the centerpiece of retelling the tale of 110, the last enslaved Africans brought to America. Ryan Noble is an assistant professor of communication arts at Mobile Spring Hill College and is the film's director.
The journey that Africans and then African Americans went through is a heroic journey.
No one agrees with that more than the film's producer, Mobile native Joel Lewis Billingsley, a direct descendant of Cudjo Lewis.
It's been a very rich experience growing up, being able to know more and learn more about heroes.
Here's the story. After the Civil War, when the 110 couldn't save up the astronomical amount of money needed to go home to Africa, they managed to scrape together enough cash to buy a piece of land near the Mobile River to settle the Plateau community, also known as Africatown.
There's hardly anything left at all of the original Africatown. The cemetery, maybe an old chimney stone somewhere. But that actually works to the advantage for these filmmakers because they're forced to rely on oral history for their information. And that gives them a better understanding of the human experience of the people who arrived on that last slave ship.
I mean, I grew up with my cousins. We'd sit around in a circle and my uncle would talk to us about Cudjo. And, you know, it's a very personal story for me.
And because Cudjo Lewis lived to be more than 90 years old, much of that oral history came directly through him. Now chronicled in a book by Zora Neale Hurston called Barracoon, the story of the last black cargo.
It's really hard to escape his shadow. I mean, he casts a really long shadow, mostly because he lived so long, but also because early on he was the voice of the group.
Both filmmakers agree sometimes a limited documented history doesn't always align with the oral history, giving their crews even more avenues to explore in this documentary.
It's a lot of things that I don't understand around the human experience and how we can treat people that way. And so I have to pray a lot, Darwin, I'll tell you.
But her biggest prayer? That this project will help people of all walks of life understand the tragic plight of the 110 original Africatown residents and the courage it took to overcome it. At Spring Hill College, Darwin Singleton, NBC 15 News.
Cool. That's cool. That's almost as cool as what went on in Georgia. They found some records of the slave owners willing their slaves $100 and the beach and was given the rights to be sent back to their country. And you can actually go to the records and see who was there. They have them now. That's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, you know what's funny that you're talking about Atlanta? And let me just put this out to the panel, please. I saw something. It was probably about 3-4 years ago. and it was talking about Tyler Perry and how Tyler Perry not only bought this
Confederate
what was it?
Army
Army
base.
base, Confederate Army base, right? But the thing that was that messed him up is that there was a 13-year-old boy that wrote a letter that they found, and he was writing it to the future. Anyone got anything to say about that? I thought that was pretty fucking significant because I thought about it for days.
Nah, I hadn't heard about it. All I know is he did publicize that on the deed. On that deed, it said that Asian, African, or dark descended Indians, blacks, African American slaves, Chinese. There was a whole demographic of cultured people that was not allowed to buy land in this country.
Yep.
That's on that deed. And he said he couldn't believe that that was actually on the deed when he bought it.
Well, he's got that kid's letter up in his studio. And it was just something that was found by accident by construction workers when they were, going through cleaning shit up and, doing the job of turning that thing into a studio. But it was a plantation home, and they found it in a desk and gave it to Tyler Perry. And it was a significant story about him, reading that letter and knowing that, his heritage goes back a long way. And to respect that heritage, you have to respect the fact that there was this black child, 13 years old, wrote a letter and never mailed it, and it wound up in Tyler Perry's hand.
And it was on that on a military incident. Are you sure it was a black kid that wrote it? Because
no, it was a black.
You sure? I mean, we do time cap.
No, I'm not sure. I can't fucking say I'm sure. Tyler Perry said it, so it's got to be true, right?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I just asked. I mean, we weren't allowed to read or write back then. You got to remember. If we did, we was in trouble. We got lashed.
Write a letter.
I mean, one room shack, that was a school, and they burnt that sucker down. If we tried to learn, I mean, so you say a black kid wrote a letter. The best thing he could have ever done was buried it. I mean, we all need to do it. We all need to do a time capsule. We all need to do a time capsule. I'm not saying you're lying, man. I'm just saying. Damn. LAU did that. You make him prove every damn thing.
Hey, Molly, I got a video. Tyler Perry reading the letter.
I'm not saying. Damn, you can't even be a comic around this motherfucker. No, it's not funny. It's not funny anymore. You did this.
I don't think he
telling them prove shit all the damn time, man. Damn.
Molly.
Although, look, I see where you're at though, because I was listening, and there are a lot of individuals from way back then, African American individuals that still, they never really learned how to read or write. They know how to write the names.
That's right.
They needed to know how to write.
Right, Marker X. So he telling me back then on a Confederate installation, they found a letter from a black kid. I see why he did. I know, damn. But he done went on the serious tip because the LA keep telling him to prove it.
Yep. Well, I mean, sometimes you just got to do some proving.
Well, with that
Okay,
one,
everybody, happy birthday.
That's hilarious right there.
Happy birthday.
He done went to the internet. He done went all the way into the wave box.
Good morning.
I know that there were slaves that could read. I know that there was some that could read. Miss Martha taught Miss Nellie how to read, and she stole the stamp and read it and wrote her boyfriend a pass. I watched that movie.
Good morning, Queen Destiny. Hey, Queen Destiny, when I seen Destiny's name pop up, I told Molly to pull up Africa Town because I knew you was in Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
y'all started playing the thing, and I was like, wait a second, I
when I
know where
seen you say hi,
this
good
is. I
morning.
drive past this all the time.
Yeah,
Mr. Clark, I know he could. I know there was black
My
people that
father
could
was
read.
born in Mobile, Alabama. So Chief Tuscaloosa.
It's a lovely place, honestly. Like I like it here.
No, I've been to Africa. I just showed Molly the pictures of me in Africa Town. If you go on my Facebook page, you'll see a lot of pictures of me in Africa Town. The Clotilda, that's the last slave
heck
ship
yeah.
that came from a wager with the Lehman Brothers. So you should know that family, the Mowers down there in Mobile.
I got family
It's
in
been
Britain.
on my list of things to check out. Is they have a museum there for Africa Town that goes over the last slave ship and the progression of Africa Town itself. And I would like to go there. And I like museums. I don't care if
Well, I
it's just
love-
pictures or this and that. I would love to learn more about it.
No doubt, no doubt. When you walk out the door and search for knowledge, you should never return.
All right, hey, Destiny, you make sure you do your Black History homework for February now.
I shall. And I'll try to be on here as often as I can to hear what y'all want to teach me too.
You too. You too. See, huh? What'd you say, for the man?
I said, or just do a black.
Or just do a black. I'll keep it in mind. Thank you. Oh, hey guys, guess what? Hi, it's my birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Destiny!
they call it boxing. They call that Boxing Day in Europe.
Yeah, well, something came out of my mom's box on this day in America. 30
There you
years ago.
go. Lock it in.
Well, that means I got 2 more months before Boxing Day for me.
Boxing.
Yeah.
That's brand new.
So your birthday is in February?
March. Actually, it's February 28th, February 29th. But since my family had to choose it, it's March.
Wow.
He's a Pisces. He's definitely a Pisces. That motherfucker's definitely a fucking Pisces.
Does that mean
I only have a birthday every 4 years.
That's a symbol. Wow.
I know that part, the every 4 years thing. Do you do a happy birthday, get black dick? Thank you, LA Josh Preston.
Hey, I knew that me and Lee were related because my birthday's February 20th. I'm an Aquarius Pisces cusp. I'm like right there in the middle.
Ooh. Yeah.
Everybody thinks I'm a
I'm
Leo.
a little bit of both.
But you're a water bear. You are a water barrier.
So they deal with the zodiac.
Yeah, I know. I'm like it's like
deal
a
with the
water
zodiac?
goat or something.
Yeah. The criminal.
I don't know what the. I'm
Oh,
not
You're
that white
a
chick.
You're a
Oh, I'm a
Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Yeah, you're Capricorn. Yeah,
I
that
don't know what that
Capricorn. You know what? I dated one Capricorn. That is one cheating, lying, stealing mother. Woo, y'all are some of the most rottenest motherfucking women. And I thought Scorpion women was worse. God Almighty, y'all Capricorns are. Oh my God! At least the sex with a Scorpio is awesome after they lie to you 50 times. But y'all motherfuckers, Capricorns, y'all will lie while you're looking at them, and still the sex ain't no damn good. Let me quit.
I can't say that I do that.
I'm
I don't
fucking-
get
I'm
into
fucking-
astrology because you're good.
Destiny,
But
that sounded
some
like
white chick told me to tell people that I go whatever the Earth, Moon, Sun thing or what I'm
Yeah.
Capricorn, and then my moon or whatever is a Scorpio, and then whatever is after that, I'm a Capricorn again. I said I don't know what that means. She goes, "You're
No,
an
I was
earthling
just- I
person
was-
that gets wild when the moon's out," and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'd totally do that.
It sounded to me like Lee was
That
giving
sounded
you
like
a
a challenge.
compliment, Destiny. It sounded like Lee was giving you a compliment, Destiny.
Negative.
Lying,
I
right in
mean,
your
thank
face.
you. I appreciate it.
I was
That sounds
just,
like
I
a
was just,
challenge.
no, negative, 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 negative. No, 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 don't.
What
No
Brownstone
challenge.
said, prove it.
So Lee, you I mean, man, you're hurting Destiny right now. I'm telling you, you're hurting Destiny right now because now
Happy
if she wants
birthday,
to get the play or
Destiny.
whatever, they got to go through that Jedi mind fuck. Like
That wasn't no. I
you
was
know,
the one that was the victim by Capricorn.
Yeah, he's talking from his own experience.
I'm not talking about it as far as the zodiac. It just said Capricorn. I don't know what moon them motherfuckers come from. I
I
don't.
don't know either. I don't understand any of that stuff. People will ask me just because I'm a white chick, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm that person that goes, "Oh yeah, the moon is in Gatorade."
It ain't got nothing to do with you being white either. It's just people.
Lee got your
I mean, I
number,
don't
bro.
know. I mean, but lie just to look at you. When the truth will do, just tell a lie.
Happy as a B days.
I'm wearing white underwear.
Or connect.
You're not wearing any. That's how that works.
Okay, noted.
Nah, tell me I'm telling a lie. I don't want to. I don't want to see. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that on this screen.
I'm Daddy Lee. You don't want to see?
No.
Hey, be like Nike and do it.
Nah, buddy man. Buddy man. That's funny. Y'all nasty too.
I love Funny Man.
I like him.
Happy
I'm
birthday,
not that type of gay, but yes, happy birthday, look girl.
Not that kind of gay. No. Where's Althea?
She's visiting.
North Carolina.
Okay. Well, all right. Ooh, tiny dog. I would like that for my Christmas.
This is Dorky the Yorkie. Dorky the Yorkie. He's only half black.
I want to respond.
The back part.
They both.
And this is Chief.
Okay.
Come here, Chief. Up.
I
Now
see
he's
LA.
huge.
What LA guy? He say zodiac.
He said
signs,
another way to
way
keep us divided.
I never thought about it like that. You are right, LA Josh. The vision is everything. Okay, she want to respond to the zodiacs real quick. I know he know a lot about zodiac, and I thought that as well, y'all. So let's see his response, LA.
Well, wow. I'm a pair it with something real fast. My favorite surah in the Quran is Surah 49:13. If you guys want to jot it down to research it, it says, "I created you from a clot and divided you into tribes and nations that you may get to know one another, and the righteous amongst you be the guide." So, in parable analogy is, learn from one another, meet one another. It's the differences of one another that make us all unique to be able to come together. Something like the NFL. We all have separate favorite teams, but they all are in the NFL. So we're divided by choosing, by choice, our free will, our team, but it's that division that brings us together. So when you get to go to know one another, not from a competitive standpoint, but from a complementary standpoint, it becomes a different analogy. So when you deal with the zodiac and they say I'm a Capricorn or I'm an Aries or I'm a Gemini, that can depend on what where you live on the earth. Are you dealing with Gregorian calendar? Or are you dealing with the lunar calendar? Is it really New Year's Eve and Janus, January 1st? Or is Aries the start of the zodiac because that's the cerebrum, one side of your brain, and the cerebrum is the other side of your brain, which represents Aries and Taurus. And then goes down to Gemini and finishes at Pisces in your feet. So it depends on how you look at astrotheology, astrology, zodiac, time. Time never was when man was not. Time can become an illusion. So we create these times and these time frames and these zones and these divinities. But it's the mindset of how you use to complement one another. So when he said divided you in tribes and nations that you may get to know one another, what is your tribe? Are you Creek Indian? Are you Navajo? Are you Apache? What is your nation? I hear people on here every day, I'm black and I'm white. What is black and white? Are you European? Are you Scottish? Are you Jamaican? Are you Nigerian? What is black or white?
Well,
Who can
your
apply for
tribe,
that?
your
Who can
tribe
apply
is
for
not
that?
always
Go ahead.
defined as your
Go ahead,
tribe
Queen
is not
Destiny.
always defined as who you are, where you came from. Your tribe is often defined as the people that you insist on having around you. Just like the quote,
No doubt.
"Blood is thicker than water."
Her
It's
phone is breaking up.
the blood of the covenant.
I'm trying to hear her because her phone.
Is it me?
We're following you, and I know where you're going with that because it becomes cultural.
Blood of the covenant.
We can't.
You're going to have a better
They can hear her.
versus the people that are in your life. People use blood stick now.
I can't hear her. I want to hear her.
Hey, Destiny, you need a
Destiny, can you start over, please? Because
Your
you're breaking up.
connection
Can you
is-
start over?
Yeah, your connection is terrible.
Yeah, it was sounding like you was talking through a fan.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew where you
Okay.
were going. Bloodlines.
Right.
Tribes.
Yeah. So like, just like, and I'll go back to just like our parents use blood is thicker than water as a reason to keep us hanging out with family. That's not true. The
No
full
doubt.
phrase is blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb, meaning that you will have a stronger bond with someone that you choose to have in your life rather than
No
someone
doubt.
that's in your life simply because they gave birth to you or their blood in some way or another. That the family portion doesn't matter whenever you're thinking about your covenant. Your covenant is my group of friends that I insist on having over all the time. Like
No
my
doubt.
best friends are my covenant. They have the password to my door and they show up and just hang out with me out of nowhere all the time. That's my covenant, my people. So whenever you're talking about your tribe, learning from your tribe, you are going to learn from the people that you put around you. If you
No
will
doubt.
put nothing but negative people around you just because, oh, they want to hang out with me, then you're going to have nothing but negative things learned and negative things happen. Whereas if you surround yourself by positive people and your covenant is made of positivity, you are going to have fucking bliss in your life. I can guarantee you that. There's a whole positive breeds positive. If you've got positive people in your life, you're going to learn positive things on your thing there. Learn from your tribe. You're going to learn some beautiful positive things. You're also going to have some beautiful positive experiences because someone who's negative is going to say, hey, let's go rock. Let's go get ice cream or some shit. Like, it's all about who you put around yourself. It's the most important thing is who you choose to help.
That's peace.
Drop the mic. Lock it in.
Yeah. Lock it.
Cash out Brenda $5.
Okay.
Man, I sure wish I had $5 to keep to myself.
That was a good question, LA. Any more? Oh, you got something up there?
Yeah, because it is still tie into Taurus at the beginning.
And all should bow to the Taurus.
All should bow to the Taurus.
Yeah.
Resolution is to obey the Taurus,
Yep.
and with
Obey
that,
the
you
ram
will
and the
have
bull.
peace. Embrace the bullshit. LOL.
Hey, that's amazing. Because if you look at your Chinese calendar, this is the year of the water ox. Good job, LA. You're up there with the Asians. There you go. It's the year of the water ox.
I know that if you were born in the year of the dragon, you're supposed to get married wearing red.
Uh-oh. That sounds like a shotgun wedding.
Those are all colors too.
Good time, shotgun with.
What is the year of the dragon?
The Year of the Dragon is the year before the year I was born. I know that. I was born. Or no. It was the chicken was before me. I'm a dog. Let's see.
75.
Is Chinese.
This can get deep. Mute me for 1 second.
Yeah, there's the 12 things cycle. Now next is rabbit, and then tiger, rabbit, and then dragon.
77.
That was your snake.
So, oh, you said I was the year of the snake?
1977 was the year of the snake.
Oh.
Does anybody else have a
That is so weird. That's probably
Anybody else
that's
a year to
probably
throw out there?
that's probably why I used to have 7 snakes.
Oh God, that's dope.
Yeah.
1977, they're 1965. So 1965, 77, 89, 2001, 2013, and 2020 snake. So this coming year should, if this stuff has any give a fuck at all, it should be pretty good for you.
Well, plus it also means that you can shed your skin and be renewed.
Ridiculous is that.
I do that with sea moss and shilajit.
Look, man,
That's fucking fun.
a little D&D game, done low health, and then you call him, which he has adopted as his new nickname, DQ. DQ would go, oh man, your health wouldn't be so low if you had some Molly Moss, CMOS.
That's right.
You get shout outs if you had some Molly Moss. Crazy.
Hey, I know Christmas over and Hanukkah's just started, but make sure everyone gets your shades of blue. Althea McFarland, you go to her website and you get you some shades of blue. There's a shout out to Althea. What? Drop the mic. Do we lose it? Is it just me and you, David? Oh, here she goes. Oh, there you go. Oh, what a tribute. Yes. I knew it was coming. There you go, Althea. Badass. Badass Althea.
Mama. Hold on.
And you know what? What's cool about that in this community, I think it's so cool, that there is something that is like true love. We all want to support each other. We all want to see each other fail. We all want to pick on each other. We all want to lift each other up. But if you're in a household full of people like us, holy shit, what a damn good time we'd have just picking each other apart and trying to tell each other what we're doing wrong, and then and patting each other every time someone did something right. I mean that's why I love coming on this fucking show. So a shout out to Molly, shout out to Althea.
We know we like you, Dan. Keep coming on.
I love this show. This show's so fun.
Uh-oh.
Steps into the past for a look at some amazing ancient ruins across America.
Ancient lands, ancient people. From coast to coast, there are landmarks of civilizations long gone. Let's start in New Mexico at Chaco Canyon.
We're standing here and it's so well preserved. It's really astounding.
Between the 9th and 13th centuries, a massive trade center existed in the New Mexico desert.
In this remote canyon away from much of today's civilization, the ancient Chacoan Pueblo people once thrived.
The canyon is home to the ruins of multi-story buildings constructed of stone known as great houses. Cue the pan flute.
Pueblo Bonito is the largest and most extensive of these planned communities.
In August of 2013, Chaco was designated an international dark sky park, where drowning yourself in the Milky Way is a nightly event.
The people of Chaco Canyon are well known for their knowledge of astronomy.
Heading east to Collinsville, Illinois, we'll find the rolling hills of the Cahokia Mounds.
Mount 72 at Cahokia is one of the most spectacular archaeological discoveries in North America.
Down in the southwest corner of the state of Illinois are a series of earthen mounds that are the last remnants of the oldest city north of Mexico, settled around the year 600.
Excavated in the late 1960s and the early 1970s.
The population of the city at the time was estimated to be anywhere from 10 to 20,000 people. Some of the mounds were burial sites and others were platforms for political and religious buildings. Finally moving northeast to Washington County, Pennsylvania is the Meadowcroft Rock Shelter.
We tell a story here of 16,000 years of people using this piece of real estate.
In the mid-1950s, a farmer discovered what looked like a prehistoric tool. It wasn't until 1973 that a team of archaeologists excavated the site and found evidence of Ice Age people.
Where else are you going to stand in the same place that people stood 16,000 years ago and see evidence of campfire?
Sifting through the sands of time across America.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah,
since
what
we're
y'all thought about that?
That was neat.
Yeah, that was just one short video. I could have shared it. Now it's too much though. But they got a lot of pyramids here in America, mounds and stuff that they don't really teach us in school. If they did, I don't know. I didn't get taught that. And that
Well, because they weren't made by the Europeans; they were made by Indians and Mexicans. Europeans didn't even know how to do any of that shit.
Destiny, you familiar with what again? Moundsville, Alabama. You familiar with Moundsville?
I have not been there.
Okay.
Yeah, so Cahokia.
I have not been there, but I'm about to look up more information on it.
Yeah, Cahokia was the capital for the Native Americans before the Europeans came.
Ooh,
And Moundsville was the second.
it's lovely.
That was in Alabama, which Alabama, red land.
Alabama, Maria Land.
I would drive me
That's
6 hours if I take a plane.
Yeah, I wonder
Ooh,
why
white
they
man.
don't really tell us about so many pyramids and stuff here in America. They
Running through
always
this
got us
land
looking
is
at Egypt and all these other places, and they highlight them pyramids, and we got more pyramids here in America than damn near anywhere else. And I guess that's why they called it Rome at one point. I'm not sure. What y'all thoughts on that? Why y'all think they don't teach that here in America too much? If they do, I didn't hear much about it. Have y'all?
America saw the most beautiful, simply stated thing. Our main aim is, thank you, LA Josh, is very much like Superman if he was a total dick. And in our the post had a picture of Superman, like our OG Superman, the one that we all love, right? And it says America in the history books, and then it shows a picture of America in real life. There are so many things. Like, unfortunately, I've watched World War I, World afterwards, all that jazz. America did that was fucked up, and that will never make our history books. America doesn't like to admit when they do wrong. It's kind of like cops back in the 20s. If you said what that woman would end up doing, getting locked up in a mental asylum, saying a cop can do no wrong, wrong. We're not going to put the shit that we did wrong in. We're going to learn a little bit of what we went through and that we were the heroes. Y'all make me feel like everything.
Nah, we can't hear you. You get.
Oh, man, hold on. I'll be
Yeah,
right back because I'm
was
speaking hard
trying
over
to
here.
hear you.
I'll be back.
Hey, I think that what you just showed, it looked like a Jesus Christ, what is that, like a ghetto? I mean, didn't they say something about cramped spaces and everyone was living in there?
I don't know. I ain't hear that. They might
No,
do
I'm
it
just
though.
talking about the small spaces. I mean, how much was that for the guy who was the leader, and how much of that was for his people, the
Well,
slaves, whatever you want to call
they don't know who was what. They just discovered it, so they don't really know how these people was living. They thought it was just a small space, and then they see it was way more than that. It was enough for 10 to 20,000. I don't know what type of cramping they gonna be doing in that small space, but I think they was in a small space, and then once they kept digging, they realized it was more than just a small space.
it. Hey, where was that at? Where was that at, Molly?
They showed a few different places, so I don't know which one. I don't know which one you're talking
Cahokia
about.
would be outside of East St. Louis.
St. Louis.
East St. Louis.
East St. Louis.
That don't surprise me.
Look at the
My
history.
wife said that don't surprise me.
Right off the river. That's what they did.
Hey,
Yeah, right off
everyone
the
say
river.
hi, Connie.
Morning.
Hey, Connie.
What's up, Connie?
Not much.
Ask Damon who founded Chicago.
Who founded Chicago, Dane? Not Michael Jordan either.
No, I know that. I mean, thank God he was he was the Black Jesus. I mean, if anyone was, he saved the fucking Bulls. They never won a fucking game the whole time they were around.
You know who might founded Chicago?
No, I don't know who founded Chicago, but I know about the Chicago fire and that there's only one building that still sits there, and it was made out of stone, sandstone.
John DuSable.
DuSable.
John
Oh,
DuSable.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
Wait,
That's
are we
okay,
talking
but I
about the Red Summer again?
Red Summer. Red Summer.
That's 1919.
I memorized that after, I memorized things really, really fast. So whenever y'all showed that on here,
Nah. Funny man got
do I
out.
sound better?
So Chicago was founded by a Haitian.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
How many cities?
But I also remember. I also remember when we had after Daley, the old Daley. His name was George, and that was the first black mayor of Chicago.
George Jefferson.
Now,
John Baptiste
DuSable. I only remember that because I was just a little kid. And then after that, the young Daley came back in. That's all I know. I really didn't pay much fucking attention because Destiny was saying, my tribe, they're allowed to just walk into my house and entertain me. They know everything is theirs. If you want a beer, get a fucking beer. You want to smoke a bowl, get my bag of weed. If you want to eat, there's the fridge. Okay. And if you need a place to sleep and you're in hard times, you crash right here, motherfucker. We don't care.
If you want to eat, say hello to Connie. No, I'm just.
There you go.
I'm just-
Yes. You have to say hello to my wife.
Hey,
That's a hey, Connie. If you want to eat, you gotta ask you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, easy peasy.
Hey, interesting fact I just learned.
Found
Hey,
Chicago.
look, I brought it up too,
They said
and
this
you
is
know what? He
Andre
kind of looks like
3000
Prince.
got his swag from. Andre
He kind of looks like
3000.
Prince.
That's where they was getting their swag from whole time. He the founder of Chicago.
Yeah, that's what's up.
He's
Lock it
considered the
in.
founder because he put a market
Lock it in.
on the land.
Lock it in.
Yeah.
Now I gotta send Brenda $5 as I said lock it in. All right, I'm good.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the
25,
deal? We have to
25
send her $5 every time we say lock it in?
Well, dang.
No.
When we said dang,
She was on the show. I don't know, it was maybe a month ago or whatever. But she was saying because that's part of her game show is lock it in. You know, you have to turn your camera off or camera on.
Yeah.
And then she said that every time I use it, I got to give her $5. And we had a discussion about who owns the statement "lock it in."
Keeping count. Brenda
Well,
used
did
it
she
5
get-
times.
Did you get the trademark for it?
Yes.
Did you trademark?
It's got to be copywritten.
Yeah, we got it trademarked.
She really copyrighted it?
No, I'm just messing with Dane.
He said, hold on, come at me, Damien. Damien,
I gotta
no, this
use
side,
the
this side.
other
This side. There
hand.
you go. Okay, we're good. Yeah.
You gotta use the other hand.
There you go.
And y'all, we about to get up out of here. Go get that
There you
shades of blue. Go grab it. Reese,
Go get your
Reese,
shades
see you
of
tomorrow.
In this lonely ass world, it's getting colder. I'm not going nowhere if I cannot take my boat there. My mind was bred a little different, yeah, from my own past. If I see heat, why the fuck would I wanna go there? Mama, I make you smile. Mama, your little nigga came from wildin'. Mama, always got in trouble, I was shouted. Mama, now I'm staring at shit. Mama, I'm the pilot. Mama, if I want something, I'ma go get it. Mama, swim with the sharks, piranhas, and fishes. Mama, it's so hard down here, God is my witness. Mama, I know where I'm going. Mama, I'm a fan. It's hard not knowing who is really gonna be there for me. I wish you could be here to see me the day I start touring. Shit be on my mind every second when I'm not recording. I'm waking up conversating with the Lord every morning. I mistakenly took the wrong path, I had to rewind. I fumbled trying to move too fast, I had to keep trying. Growing up, I got in trouble, told myself to keep lying. So much stress be building up, swear I be needing me time.